Hey guys, it's time for my next top 10 list, and this one's going to be a 5 and 5. And because of the release of Pokemon Black and White tomorrow, which I have pre-ordered, well, I didn't pre-order them both. Well, I figured I'd do a top 10 list about that. So the 5 Pokemon I'm psyched to see in the Unova, and just for fun, the 5 I could do without. And of course, people generally have mixed opinions about new Pokemon that are coming in. Some like the idea, the more the better, like me, and some don't. Well, this list is going to be completely fair, but of course everything is based off of my own opinion, so your own opinion is fine. If you're going to say, you like that Pokemon, oh, it sucks, well, that's your opinion. And if you like one of them that's on my dislike list, that's fine too. So we're going to start off with number 5, Darmanitan. Aside from the fact it shares the name of a character from The Legend of Zelda, that's very cool, and it looks pretty cool too. But what got this one on the list was a cool feature known as Zen Mode. What Zen Mode is that when Darmanitan's HP drops under 1/2, it gains Psychic as a secondary type, and while its attack and speed fall, all of its other stats, defense, and special attack, rise. So you might, if you're fighting against one of these, you might want to try to kill it in one hit, and don't get it to low HP. Number 4, Solosis. This Pokemon, well, I can see how it would receive mixed reactions, but I think the idea was brilliant. Yes, I realize that it evolves, but I chose this one just because it's cute. I mean, come on, it's a cell. And I don't see it as a weak attempt at education. I don't see it as a strong attempt at education. I just see it as a good idea for a Pokemon. And this Pokemon is exclusive to Pokemon White, by the way, which is the one I pre-ordered. Number 3, Zebstrika. Now, this is the one for those of you who say, oh, I liked it better when Pokemon was all about animals. Well, here's a thing that shows that they can still create new and original animals that look cool. And also, he's gonna say, look at his face. He's like, I'm tired of zebras always being known as the prey. I'll bet this thing could take on a Luxray. Yes, it is an electric type. Number 2, Pansage. Now, I love the idea of the elemental monkeys. I mean, they're cool, especially because the first gym is going to have you battling against all 3. And depending on what starter you choose, you get a different one. But the reason I chose this one on the list is because it is adorable. Look at it. It's a funny monkey. Okay, I'm not going to sound like an idiot, but this one's like, it's just cute, and it evolves into something strong, and while still looking cool, it goes from cute and cool to just really cool. And I guess still a little bit cute, but yes, Pansage is my favorite one. And I normally don't like grass types either. So to see one that I really like is pretty cool. And now, the number 1 Pokemon I'm psyched to see in Unova. Sawsbuck. Okay, this is just a great idea. What happens is that Black and White introduced the season mechanic, which is that every 3 months, the season changes. Summer, autumn, winter, and spring. That's why they call it Sawsbuck. So that every season, its form changes. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So, I just like the idea a lot. I don't know why, it's like they showed what they could do. They had a new feature, and they had a Pokemon that fit just well with that feature. Also, it's a normal grass type, which is a new and unique type, and it has an original move, but it's like Leech something. I forget. I should have remembered. But yeah, and I realized that its pre-evolution Deerling does the same thing, and I was about to choose that for this list just because it looks so peaceful. But Deerling, its color changes, but but this one looks like it changes more. And that's why it's the one I'm looking forward to the most. And now, we're on the opposite side of the list, the 5 that I could do without. This doesn't necessarily mean don't like, doesn't mean can't stand, just means could do without. Although, yes, that's kind of the basis for this list. Watchog. Yeah, I don't like this thing that much, but I realized that they had to create it. They need that normal type near the beginning of the Pokedex, and they need it to, it's going to be a Pokemon that I'm going to see in the wild a lot and get annoyed with. I'm sure of that. But, yeah, and I just don't like the way it looks, I guess. It's like, you're going to see me in the wild and there's nothing you can do about it. Huh. Number 4. Tympole. Okay, I have no problem with this thing. I think it has pretty cool evolutions as well, but when I go see people talk about this thing on message boards, it kind of makes me wish that it was never created. Number 3. Vanillite. This one was definitely a target for saying, "Oh, these Pokemon are weird." And yeah, I agree. I'm putting this one on the list just because its evolutions look a little bit cooler. And you know what, I guess this thing is kind of cute, but still, the ice cream cone, yeah, I guess they needed to have one oddball idea. Maybe it was just to fill in space. I don't know. Oh well. You know what, I'm not against ice types, but they could have come up with something better, probably. Number 2, Gothitelle. Well, it's original, to say the least. Unfortunately, that's about everything good I can say about Gothitelle, as this is stereotypical, and especially not only to Gothics, but to French people as well. French, everybody that's French is weird and a fortune teller, yes. Great job, Nintendo. And just so you know, I don't like the way it looks either. It looks ugly. And once again, that's stereotypical. So, yeah, by the way, this is exclusive to Pokemon Black, and the Solosis family is the one that, the counterpart exclusive for Pokemon White. Another reason I'm glad I chose White. But once again, personal list. If you like this better than the Cell family, the Solosis family, that's fine. And now, the number 1. Now, this choice might kind of surprise some people, because it is not going to be Garbodor. I actually like that thing. It is hilarious, especially its species name. But this one, Liepard, is just, well, what's wrong with it? I mean, it's a dark type, it's a cat. Well, first let's look at its name. Liepard. Lie, as in it's a liar, stealing, thief. That's pretty much the theme for this Pokemon. It evolves from something called Purloin, as in like a purloin, like a thief, but it's a cat, so purr. It's called the Cruel Pokemon. The Cruel Pokemon? What's Pokemon about? It's about making new friends, right? Well, that's one of the things it is about, for people that are really into it, the spiritual part of it. Would you want to be friends with something called the Cruel Pokemon? Oh, but what about Tentacruel? Yeah, well, you know what? That's a jellyfish. Tentacruel, in my opinion, was kind of mindless. This thing, it's like it likes to be cruel. This is the Pokedex entry from White. The Pokedex entry in Black just talks about its beauty, so I chose this one. Stealthily, it sneaks up on its target, striking from behind before its victim has a chance to react. Yeah. So if this thing is in my party and I am sleeping at night, I am not going to feel too safe. Also, this one, there's a new villainous team called Team Plasma, and apparently this Pokemon is going to be seen in that team a lot, which makes perfect sense. I just can't wait to throw a Pokeball at this, of a trainer, and watch it say, "Don't be a thief," and I'm like, yeah, you tell your Pokemon that. Oh, I pressed left, whatever.